What's good, elite trainers? OJ here from PlayerEssence. Welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at everything that was talked about at the Pokemon Presents and going over the big changes and what you can expect with this game. There has been a lot of buzz about Pokemon Winds and Waves in addition to all of the other Pokemon Presents information. So I will briefly go over what I thought was cool about the Pokemon Presents, and then we'll talk about the big stuff here with Pokemon Winds and Waves, the huge graphical improvement, the situation that's happening with the release window for the game not being in 2026, and a bunch of other stuff. The starters, a lot of cool things to get into and talk about. We got new screenshots and so much more. But before we continue on, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. All you have to do to enter is hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed and drop a comment below. We are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 once we hit 150,000 subscribers, and it will be random. So the more that you actually comment and interact, the better chance that you have to win. Hit that like button, click that notification bell, and let's go ahead and jump right back into it. Okay, let's start off with the Nintendo GameCube Nintendo Classics adds Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. That is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, and that will be sometime in March. So if you've played that game before, I'm pretty sure you're pretty excited to be able to get it on the GameCube and just be able to play on the Nintendo Switch 2. It's never really been re-released in any way, so this is the first time that you're going to be able to play it without doing emulation or some other thing like that, or buying a used copy of the game. So I'm very happy for people that are excited about that. Now, I think I played it back in the day. I don't remember completely if I did, but I don't think I've beaten this game. People really like Gale of Darkness, so I'm looking forward to checking it out when it comes to the Nintendo Switch Online. Next up, there was information on Pokemon Legends ZA. The DLC Mega Dimension adds Mega Garchomp Z. So for those that are interested in the online battles or simply just more about the Mega Dimensions DLC, you have that Garchomp to go check out. Also, Pokemon Pocopia details the DJ Rotom, Chef Dente, and the multiplayer mode, and I felt that the DJ Rotom was actually pretty cool because you can play a bunch of different music. For a cozy game, one of the things that I don't like in some of them to where you can't really adjust the music unless you're in different locations. This one, you'll be able to adjust the music to a bunch of classic Pokemon tunes, and that is awesome. The game continues to impress with the scope and scale and size of it. So Pokemon Pocopia coming out March 5th, that's next week as of the time that I'm recording this video. I'm definitely going to be checking out the game, and I'm going to be playing it, streaming it on the channel. Look out for videos or at least a live stream talking about that game. It looks like it's going to be a pretty chill, relaxing type of game to play. I'm not the biggest cozy person fan, but I like the fact that you can get so many different Pokemon and you have different moves that you can do in order to build up your area, and the multiplayer looks fun as well if you like to hang out with your friends in that type of environment. So I did play Animal Crossing New Horizons. I pretty much played every Animal Crossing, but this looks to be a bit more of what I would like if I'm going to play a cozy game in the first place. Okay, but the big thing here is Pokemon Winds and Waves. This is the large, brand new Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive Pokemon game, and people have a lot of thoughts when it comes to what this game is about, what they showed off, the graphics in the game. And let's just start off there because that's what everyone is talking about. There's a lot more to it than just graphics, but everyone's talking about how it looks significantly better than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Pokemon Legends ZA, and that makes sense. Those are Switch 1 games. Those games had less time in development. This game has more time in development, which is somewhat controversial because people think that Nintendo has nothing for the holiday this year for 2026, but they do. We're going to talk about that as well. But Pokemon Winds and Waves, this game, big bump up in graphics. If you look at the debut trailer that they showed off here, you can see a clear improvement when it comes to the models, when it comes to the environments, when it comes to the water, when it comes to so many different things with this game. There is a lot that it just improves upon, and I think that a lot of people are excited that they're finally going to be able to get a Pokemon game that lives up to what they could do, that lives up to maybe what it could look like. Right now, in the past, at this point with Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield, you're looking at somewhere between a 3DS and like a Wii U graphically, or like a Wii and a Wii U graphically. I don't think they ever really hit up to the level of what a Wii U can do, considering Xenoblade Chronicles X that everybody always compares it to, or Xenoblade games. But now at this point, I think they finally jumped into something that looks better than like new Pokemon Snap, and people felt that looked pretty good for what that was on the Nintendo Switch 1. So definitely an improvement. and it's not done yet. They're still going to have more to show. They're still going to be able to talk about that game more, and it's still going to improve. Now let's get into the starter Pokemon a bit here too, because there are 3 interesting choices that a lot of people are talking about when it comes to the starter Pokemon. So developed by Game Freak Inc., the Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves games are the newest entries in the Pokemon RPG series and are scheduled for release in 2027 on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. These new titles feature an open world to explore with beautiful windswept islands and a vast ocean with glittering waves. Trainers will play as the main character of this adventure, where they will have a different outfit depending on the version they are playing. Players will then choose their first partner Pokemon, either Browit, the Bean Chick Pokemon, Pombon, the puppy Pokemon, or is it Gekua? And I probably said that wrong, Gekua, the water gecko Pokemon, before setting off on their journeys. Pombon as well. This one, I'm already kind of leaning towards Pombon. I like dogs and I like fire starters, and this seems like it's going to grow up into a majestic fire dog, and I love Arcanine, and Arcanine is like a dog as well, so I think I'm going to like Pombon. That's going to be my starter, is Pombon. It just has to be that way, so I've already picked. As beginning with Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, Brazilian Portuguese will officially be supported as a selectable language for players. By expanding our supported languages, we aim to make Pokemon more accessible to players around the world, furthering the brand's goal of bringing the world together through Pokemon. So that was awesome as well. These Pokemon are looking pretty cool, and I love the art that they have for each of these Pokemon. But yes, Pombon seems to be the pick right here. It's just the first screenshots, just the first footage of the game, and it should get better as the game is not going to be ready till 2027. So let's talk about that as well, because 2027, that's a bit from now. People really felt, myself included, that it was going to be a 2026 release, because that's going to be a big title for this year that Nintendo's going to use to help sell the Nintendo Switch 2. But there's also this aspect of it, and I think that this is more important than the sales aspect or Nintendo's holiday. What's more important is that the game is quality, that you give them time. That's what everyone has been asking for. Everybody, myself included, has been asking that Game Freak gets more time to create the Pokemon games. You can't say, oh, it should have been this year if they're saying next year, and then also say they need more time. If they need more time, then they need more time. Now, there are some people, Kiwi Talks feels that the reason why Pokemon is not coming out in 2027 is because GTA 6 is going to be launching day and date, and that's going to be the big November game for all the platforms that it's on. Now, I don't know about that. Like, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if Pokemon Wind and Waves, or Pokemon Winds and Waves, I should say, is coming out in 2027 because of GTA. Some people think that. I'm not even sure if that's the case, because Pokemon games sell over a big period of time. Pokemon games have a different audience. It's not the same thing. Now, yes, GTA is going to be a phenomenon. It is going to be a massive game. People are going to want to really steer clear from GTA, but I don't think Nintendo or the Pokemon company are like, okay, GTA is coming, so therefore we have to delay everything and nothing's going to be around that. I think that they could have a 3D Mario game that is going to be around the time of GTA 6. So I think that could be it. And the reason why that they're actually putting out this game in 2027 is so they can make sure that it's quality. Yes, the graphics look good. Yes, they showed off the game, but there's still a lot of stuff when it comes to a Pokemon game. You need to add all the Pokemon. You need to model all of them. You need to put in all of the different gameplay elements. You need to add in so many different things. They didn't show us the combat system with this game. So there's so much stuff that you need to add in with this game to make sure that it's good and it runs great and it plays great. It's not just graphics. There's so many other things gameplay wise. So I think they're probably taking their time to make sure that they have a good amount of Pokemon, they have a good amount of scenarios, they have a lot of different gym leaders or battles or whatever the new gimmicks are. All of that is fleshed out and good. Give them the time that they need. 4 years or 5 years should be the standard time that they get for a big new Pokemon game. So to me, it makes complete sense. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out at the end of 2022. We're in 2026. That would be 4 years if the game came out at the end of this year. So maybe they take that little bit of extra time to 2025, make it 4 years plus that they are working on this game. And to me, that makes sense. So you can get a better quality game out. Let them cook, give them the time. I don't have a problem with this at all. I don't know if it's because they're scared of GTA or not, but what I know is that Pokemon always has needed more time to cook, and they've rushed out the development of the games, rushed it out to get it in the holiday, and it's ultimately ended up hurting the PR. Now, sales-wise, it has not hurt that much based off of what we know. 28 million, 27 million. Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Those two games have sold absolutely incredible, but when it comes to like just the PR and people talking about it, has not been as good. So take that time, do what you need to do, make sure that the game is set and it's really good. But kind of going back to how the graphics are looking and what people are saying, I think that the positive PR from Pokemon Winds and Waves actually having graphics and actually having a, I would say, quality of what Pokemon can do. Like, we all knew, or at least I felt, that after Scarlet and Violet and that disaster that they had, that the next Pokemon game, when it comes to a Switch 2 Pokemon game, a game built with the Switch 2 in mind, not Legends Z, which was already in development and stuff like that, but an actual next built Pokemon game would be able to impress a bit. And I've said this many times before, they don't need to have the greatest graphics in the world. All we need is passable. It just needs to be doable. It just needs to be something that's good, and it needs to run and play good as well. We need to make sure that all of that is set up too, and Pokemon Winds and Waves seems like it's going to be that way. That was the most important thing, and it seems like the Pokemon company is nailing that with giving them more time and with emphasizing that, hey, you're going to have a beautiful landscape to explore. Now, most people that like Pokemon are going to get the games, but I think that with this showing, it's going to entice more of the people that simply just go online to be negative about Pokemon. All of a sudden, those opinions aren't going to be there. Those opinions are going to be flipped and changed. Now, some of these people probably don't care about Pokemon and probably aren't going to buy it anyway, but at least the PR standpoint, at least from looking at it from that viewpoint, that's not going to be there, and it's going to turn into a positive PR, and it could potentially turn into maybe those people trying out the game. So I think that that's a positive thing. That's a good thing, and the amount of, I would say, scrutiny that the Pokemon company got for what happened with Pokemon Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet definitely helped out. But I think the biggest thing here is the Nintendo Switch 2. The amount of overhead on the Nintendo Switch 2 is able to, for them, with the development periods and timing and all that, able to get them to get something like this, along with the criticism as well. But this is something that I felt that Game Freak could do. I didn't think that it was impossible that Game Freak, given the time, given a little bit better of a system, that they couldn't turn out something that looked as good as this. So I'm happy that it ultimately turned out this way, but once again, we still have a bit of time before we see that. We need to kind of wait beforehand, but I think it's actually going to look better once we get the game. DLSS, I think, is going to play a factor. I think that the system of the Nintendo Switch 2, the amount of RAM and resources available, just dwarf what they've been able to have before. So ultimately, this is what it's turned out to be, and I think that it's going to be a good game based off of that, because Scarlet and Violet was actually fun. I had a lot of fun in Scarlet and Violet. I think the open world format works really well with Pokemon. The problem, at launch at least, was the performance of the game, and of course the graphics of the game. The Switch 2, if you have that system and you play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, it runs and looks so much better, at least resolution wise, looks so much better and runs a lot better, and it's so much better without the frame drops and everything. So now they've got the Switch 2, and they can also develop and continue on with what they've done with the evolved open world gameplay from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So that's exciting as well. So what do you guys think about all of this when it comes to everything that we discussed with the Pokemon Presents and with Pokemon Winds and Waves, from a graphical experience, from a potential gameplay experience? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.